Welcome in to Sweaty Time Pro Wrestling, the only podcast on the Marceline Media Empire conglomeration experience that is breaking down episode by episode, beat by beat, and sweat by sweat, Lucha Underground. I set my alarm to wake up now and it is going off. Be right back.
Oh, dang, this is the second week in a row that he flubs the ding-dang intro. Oh, my God. He's like, it's also crazy. I want to commend this man right now. He had an alarm set for now, but is somehow awake. Congrats
Shut the
on you.
fuck up. Shut the fuck up. It's not my alarm. It's my sister. I gotta take this.
Oh, okay. Okay. You want to know what? I now reject those compliments I just gave him about waking up before the alarm. I was gonna joke, guys, and say, I guess I'll, jack off while I'm while waiting, but I was like, wait, no, he can still see me on camera. Oh, yeah. We're back, guys, on Sweaty Time Pro Wrestling, only podcast on the Marceline Media Conglomeration Nation worldwide. Beat by beat, sweat by sweat, Lucha Underground, El Rey style. I'm one of your hosts, James, and with me, as always, is...
Sean, I gotta call my niece back. I love her.
You have a niece?
I got a niece. That's who called me. She always takes my sister's phone, and she just wanted to, show me riding her new bike.
Oh, heck yeah, dude.
That's the shit, right?
You call her back, and she answers, and she's just crying, and she's like, I skinned my knee real bad riding the bike.
And there's a very weighted pause before I finally say, never call this number again.
Whoa.
And I click. No, if you're gonna show me your bike, you better know how to use it, bud.
Uh-huh. But then you find out
no mercy.
She had successfully but landed a little sloppy a 900 on her bike, and then all that happened is hey, I scraped my knee a little bit.
Perfection is the expectation, James.
Oh, dang. Roast those kids. And what you get, perfection, is on today's episode, Season 3, Episode 33, 333, 3 doors down. Maybe plus 3 to each of those, and you get the devil's number, brother.
Hell yeah. Havoc is running wild in the temple this week. Because that's the name of the episode. That's the name of the episode.
Sean.
Yeah?
I have to apologize to you. You missed a banger of a movie, Highlander 4 Endgame, that has Edge from the freaking WWE.
He's from all the letters, all the companies.
It rocked.
Oh my gosh, it looks so good. I'm sorry I couldn't be there.
Also, Edge was in a Victorian, I'm a well-to-do man, but he could hold a boulder above his head to slam it on one of the Immortals, and the Immortals are we got a knife to your junk, and then the other one's well, I got a knife to your junk as well.
Oh wait. Yeah, that makes sense. Your camera, by the way, froze.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah. So I'm just balancing so much information in my head right now of do I tell James his camera froze? Wait, what do you mean they put knives to his junk?
Oh, yeah, just straight up. I guess not knives, they were long swords.
A knife is just any sword is a long knife, right?
I guess. But then Crocodile Dundee's gonna come at us and say, no, this is a knife and this is a sword and this is your head on a pike.
This might be an unpopular opinion. I do not think Crocodile Dundee knows shit about swords.
Oh, dang, yeah, he just is a knife guy. But then you could pretty much say well, if he doesn't know what it is, it probably is a sword. That's your measurement.
Which I think he does do, but I think he's going to run into something that's going to create some complications. He's going to pick up the latest copy of Atlas Shrugged, and he's not a reader, so he won't know anything about Anne Rain and her terrible, terrible economic policies. And he's gonna think it's a sword, and it's not even a book is not a sword. He's gonna look like a fool calling Anne Range Atlas Shrugged a sword.
Who's Anne Range?
I'm pretty sure it's Anne Rand.
Yeah, you're getting somewhat close to it. Fountainhead lady, right?
Yeah, she's the worst.
All the chuds love her.
Yes. Libertarian and dream queen.
Oh, dang. Liberate me, mommy.
Yeah, liberate me from this sword. It's a knife.
Okay, you could have said, like, liberate me from the temple. Nuh-uh, we want to stay here. Is my camera still frozen?
Yeah,
I turned it off and turned. Okay, what about now? Am I frozen?
You're not even here.
Okay, what about now? Am I frozen?
This is getting a loading image.
I don't know what's up. My internet's good.
I believe your internet's good. But that's okay. We won't be able to see each other. We'll just have to sense our vibes.
You want to know? I'll share my screen because it will show me, and then you can see me on my shared screen.
Okay.
That won't, bog down the internet more. But we don't have time for that. What we need to deal with is one of the greatest matches of this whole fucking show on Lucha Underground Season 3, Episode 33, Havoc Running Amok.
Yeah, you sent me that text, and I was like, Joey Ryan and Sexy Star?
No.
Because we've got that on the bill tonight. But first, we got to start up at the Temple Attic Prison. The same attic prison that Dario Cueto holds his brother Matanza. Dario is here to visit the monster Matanza and to admit he was wrong, kind of, not really. Dario claims he now sees Matanza's obsession with Rey Mysterio was only to protect him and the family, which is not true. Like, Dario says, oh, I get it, you hate Rey Mysterio because you're here to protect me. Which, no, Dario is now scared of Rey Mysterio because he screwed Rey out of the Lucha Underground Championship in order to keep Johnny from running away with the title and showing up at, like, JCW with it.
Oh, dang, that would have ruled. All of a sudden, right? Lucha Underground showing its face amongst the juggalos who have painted faces?
Right? It would have been terrible for Dario, though, because it's always a bad look when your championship shows up on another show without your approval.
Oh, yeah.
Right? Yeah. And if Johnny did show up at JCW, you think Violent J and Shaggy 2 Dope would have let him leave? You kidding me? With that championship around his waist? No way.
I think they would have tried to stop him, but they couldn't have. Because that Mundo is mighty.
Mundo is mighty. But that's actually damn it, I really want to book this now. This started as like a little what if, but like, I don't know if Shaggy and Violent J set up like a gauntlet, but like, and I don't know why I'm picturing it like a Scooby-Doo, like a Scooby-Doo sort of haunted house of like, anytime Johnny opens a door, there's a new opponent and he has to try and wrestle his way out of the haunted house that is JCW.
So this is just Legends of the Hidden Temple or Finders Keeper, where you go into a room and something might pop out at you.
Yeah, but also wrestling.
Yes. Not something might pop. Something will definitely pop out of you, unless maybe there's one room that you go into it, gulp, gulp, gulp. There's Fago in the middle of it. You're amped up and powerful now. So you get to skip. Like, you have to choose 6 rooms, but there are 7 to choose from. If you pick that Fago room, guess what? You don't have to do one of the matches. You only have 5 opposed to 6.
Yeah, and hosted by Alan Thicke. This feels like an Alan Thicke Nickelodeon show.
Oh, yeah, but he's dead.
Oh, right. The ghost of Alan Thicke.
There we go. Now we're on Comedy Bang Bang.
All right. No, Paul F. Tompkins doesn't like to play ghosts. That's why he doesn't play real people anymore. It creates characters. I don't know why I know that.
Because you're a student of the craft.
Of course. Yes, the student of the Kraft Mac and Cheese. That's me stirring mac and cheese. It goes...
No, guys, I'm sorry to say this, but Homeboy's fingering himself right now.
Yeah. James, that's where I keep the mac and cheese.
Okay. So your roommates won't get to it.
Every time. I've been pitching this mac and cheese commercial for years. I don't know why they won't buy it.
Uh-huh.
It's like the Trix Rabbit from mac and cheese, and it's in my ass.
All right. I can work with this.
Okay, great.
So I guess it would be a big cow, because the cow's like, you ain't getting any of my good cheese, smacking its udder around, and then it's like, oh no, we can't make it children though. It has to be like, oh man, all these college kids, they're out of ramen, they're coming after my mac and cheese. I gotta hide it. Good thing I can shove it so far, at least into my third stomach.
And all the kids. Yes. I want to talk about wrestling again.
Yeah, I wanted to
I
too,
don't-
but then you started talking about
Okay.
hiding Kraft cheese in your ass, and I was like, all right, yeah, I guess I got to add to this too.
You don't. You could just say yeah sometimes.
Well, now we have
I
the
guess I have
Kraft
to add to
cow,
this. Yeah.
Crafty the cow, and she's
Okay. Oh, he has a-
shoving things
yeah.
in her ass. Actually, let's make it a he, so it's just even weirder.
Okay. You know what? I have nothing. Let's talk.
Actually, before we move on,
Yeah.
it's not weirder. It's more 90s and 80s because they're like, yeah, a cow can be a dude, which is progressive, but it's like, wait, but like, a bull would be that, and they're like, oh, fuck, well, we've already been running this ad for a year, and it's doing really well.
Yeah. You know what? Let's just get the cows. If we want to keep it 90s, I'm pretty sure the cow from Earthworm Jim is not working. And I don't have her number, but I know someone who knows someone who can get that number. Let's get the cow from Earthworm Jim and shove some mac and cheese up her ass.
But she shares the same politics as Doug Tenapal, the creator of Earthworm Jim. So unfortunately, we don't want to work with her.
No. All right. We'll find another famous 90s cow. But first, let's get back to that attic where Dario is talking about how, oh, you were right about Rey Mysterio. Matanza, who's been obsessed with Rey Mysterio since Rey came to the temple and made his name defeating Matanza. Also made his name by being Rey Mysterio, the most famous luchador in the past 20 years. Yeah. But important to Lucha Underground, he beat Dario's brother, and now that Dario has screwed Rey Mysterio. Last week, for the Lucha Underground Championship, 100% screwed Rey Mysterio. He's now coming back to Matanza. It feels like insurance, right? It feels like, oh shit, I pissed off Rey Mysterio. Hey, Matanza, you were right. Go kill this man now. And Dario, he continues to play the victim and promises Matanza in 2 weeks, on the 100th episode, he's going to book Matanza, Rey Mysterio, one-on-one.
Woo!
And all he wants in return is the destruction of Rey Mysterio.
No.
Oh no. I'm so sorry. But
What will all the 12-year-olds at WWE do?
Don't worry about it. They were only 8 at this point.
Okay. Well, I mean, back in the day, like 12-year-olds were still into Rey Mysterio.
I think everyone's yeah.
Nah.
Why are you saying 12-year-olds like that? Everyone's into Rey Mysterio.
Once
He's
I
Rey
became
Mysterio.
13 years old, I said, no, thank you. Get out of here, Ray. I'm on to bigger and better things like tits.
Yeah, you just stopped watching wrestling.
Actually, I didn't start watching wrestling until I was like 18.
I like that the binary is either you're a Rey Mysterio fan or tits.
Oh, yeah,
you can't
100%.
have both. You can't have both. Sorry, Rey Mysterio fans. I just found a porno mag. It's over for you fuckers now.
No, I'm saying I want the divas only. Like, make all diva wrestling, get these dudes out of here. Because I don't want to see 2 dudes hug. I want to see 2 ladies hug.
I want to see everybody hug.
Ugh. Just imagine everyone in the world hugging at once. Like, COVID would spread so quickly.
Yeah, and you know what would end so quickly? Hate.
Oh, I thought you were going to say, because the world will die.
Yeah, because we're all going to hell, like, immediately.
Because we just start Katamari Damacying everyone into a big hug, and then, the space god from that game comes down, unless that's another game by that same guy.
And I know what you're talking about right now.
Well, what we are talking about is when this Dario came in, he goes, I've been embarrassed. This man has embarrassed our family. And I was like, oh, he's talking about Mundo. And no, when he said Ray, I was like, you're just focusing on the wrong person right now. The person who embarrassed you would not have been in this situation. Rey Mysterio would not have had to beat you because you did fuck with him first. Yeah. Mundo is at fault. And more importantly, Mundo's agent, I cannot remember his name.
Benjamin Cook.
Okay, there we go. All I'm saying is Mundo's to blame. Maybe actually Dario's dad's to blame.
Nah. Maybe Dario's dad. I'll give you Dario's dad. I'll tell you why Mundo's not to blame. He's the Lucha Underground champion.
No.
He's your champion. He's always right. And if you don't like that, then I don't know. Maybe you shouldn't have hired the friggin' world's sexiest, abbiest. He's got so many abs. He can't be wrong, James. He has so many abs. Johnny Mundo was right. Rey Mysterio is not the Lucha Underground champion. And Dario's a little bitch, but he's always been a little bitch. And now Matanza's here to clean up his little bitch of a brother's mistakes, which is Rey Mysterio.
The only thing with more abs than the Lucha Underground locker room is a 4th grade class in 2003. There's a lot of abbies in that period of time.
Great. That is a phenomenal joke if you have a most popular baby names book from 2003.
Or you were just a child during that time or a teacher during that time. You'd be like, oh yeah, there were a lot of Abbies, Abigails, etc.
Yeah, sure. Abby Normal, the brain that they took from young Frankenstein to make the monster.
The only thing with more Abigails than the locker room at Lucha Underground is the Conjuring universe.
Okay. And I think we should be conjuring our way over to the desk because I haven't seen The Conjuring, so I have nothing else to add.
They're pretty good.
Nice. Vampiro tries to give Matt Twinkle Toes Striker a new nickname and begins the hype for Ultima Lucha 3, which sounds like it's going to take place over 4 episodes.
Oh, I'm doing motions to camera, forgetting you don't have me on visual.
Yes, so I'm sure those were some great motions, and I'm proud of you for motioning.
Yeah. Hey guys, my camera's back.
Wahoo, wahoo. Speaking of back, we're back in the ring with the first match of the evening, Son of Madness versus Masquerita Sagrada.
Woo!
Son of Madness already in the ring with Son of Havoc's cut. The cut that he's been stealing from Son of Havoc some weeks ago. Madness is on a mission from Son of Havoc's former motorcycle club to bring back the Nomad, whether alive or in pieces. It seems to be in pieces. You can't just quit a motorcycle club. You have to be like, I don't know, it looked like there was some paperwork Son of Havoc forgot to fill out on his way out. So Son of Madness has been pursuing him for some time for a little bit of that revenge.
And that paperwork is probably falsified death certificate.
He forgot to falsify his death certificate on the way out.
Uh-huh. So people are like, oh man, he's dead. It's not like he ran away to be in Lucha Underground.
Oh no, I was thinking that he forgot to fill out his death certificate. So they're like, oh, I guess he's alive. And the club is like, no, you're supposed to pretend you can leave if you want, but you have to fake your own death.
Okay.
And now I'm drowning in paperwork. It's just rude. Son of Havoc, you didn't do anything wrong other than be inconsiderate. But really, what's worse than that?
And then little Stephanie Tanner comes up from San Francisco and she says, how rude.
Whatever happened to predictability?
The milkman, the paperboy.
Masquerita Sagrada.
Oh man, he's so cool. And we find out, or I think they've said it before, Invisible Compass.
What? I did not hear that.
The name of the biker gang.
Oh, they kept saying invisible something, and I was like, I have no idea what you're talking about. I know they said invisible something over and over. I didn't even hear compass.
I think.
Sure, I'll take it.
You want to know what? We'll buy this episode on Amazon Prime or whatever, turn on subtitles, see what they say.
Yeah, or buy it on WWE.net. We're recording this the day after WrestleMania, and WWE just bought AAA, and that's crazy.
But I don't think this would be included because it's still the El Rey.
But I could see them trying to purchase the rights to LU specifically. Famously, I feel like the rights are sort of a little amorphous. Like, I would guess the rights for Lucha Underground are for sale.
Yeah.
And that WWE, who just mentioned them by name on night 1 of WrestleMania, which is still if you're growing up around the WWE and hearing them say the names of other companies nowadays, especially Lucha Underground, it just feels weird. Like, not bad, I won't say good either, because they do have a history of being in a monopoly.
Yeah.
Just weird. Yeah.
Just wait until the antitrust lawsuits start rolling in.
Ooh, in about 5 years. Masquerita Sagrada comes out wearing the jacket that Havoc has given him. I really like that Masquerita is the one stepping up for Son of Havoc. I mean, Masquerita and Havoc have shared pizza bagel bites with Havoc's mother. Truly no deeper relationship in the temple than these two.
So they're talking about how Masquerita, He hasn't paid his dues to be in this biker gang. He shouldn't be wearing those colors or that jacket, Vampiro is saying. And I wrote down Masquerita did put in his dues. He has paid them through deep talks over basement bagel bites. It's stupid that we both came up with the same bullshit.
It's that bullshit. I'm so serious about this. It's real. No, and they do have I don't think there's another actual just friendship we see like this.
Yeah.
We see Mac and Sexy, they're friends at work. The Odd Throuple famously were friends because they had to be. Worldwide Underground, they're friends because Johnny's probably threatening their career. There's no friendship we saw than Masquerita and Son of Havoc sharing pizza bagel bites and beating the shit out of Dr. Wagner and Famous B together. That's real. That shit's real to me.
We do have the Rabbit Tribe, but I'm pretty sure they have some mystical stuff behind them, as well as Phoenix, Drago, and Aerostar.
Rabbit Tribe is church friends. Drago... It's too heartbreaking between Drago and Aerostar. And Phoenix is too busy smooching to really, again, help out with the brainwashing that has undergone Drago and ripped him away from his best friend Aerostar.
Yeah.
And if this is your first episode, a lot of shit happens in this show. And there's a lot of relationships that it can be hard to keep track of. But you remember shit like splitting a pizza bagel bite with somebody's mother. A lot can happen, but you remember shit like splitting a pizza bagel bite with somebody and their mother.
Especially if she took the bite first and you kind of secondary kiss her.
Wait, what? Why?
Because
what?
then you eat the area that she took a bite of and you're like, whoa, I just kissed my best friend's mom. Am I his stepdad now?
Do you think that's what happened between Masquerita Sagrada and Son of Havoc and Son of Havoc's mom?
Yeah, I mean, if you're positing it, why not? You said they shared a pizza bagel bite with each other.
That's all I did. I didn't. You were the one that turned this into a romantic anime, which is something we talked about off mic before this episode started. Yeah,
I've been reading a lot of shojo manga about romance and whatnot, and that is something that kind of happens. One lady's like, he took a drink from this straw. That means we're almost kissing, huh?
Yeah, and I guess so that's what Masquerita and Son of Havoc's mom are going through, and then Son of Havoc's just kind of hanging out.
He's going through this, but he is like, "Wow, she just ate this." But how is he eating the pizza bagel bites? Is he just lifting his mask up, eating a little like Deadpool does?
Yeah. And then he lifts the mask down, and you see a little bit of crumbs fumble from all under his mask down his chin, all the way to his little belly.
And then Jeff the Shark's there licking up the crumbs.
Yeah. Jeff the Shark is Lucha Underground confirmed.
Man, he was part of the Venom War bullshit, and he gets venomized, and he looks so adorable. Guys, Jeff the Shark, he's the greatest.
Yeah. Shouts out Marvel Rivals.
Never played it. I know him from the comics, you bitch.
I know. Okay, unnecessary. Masquerita Sagrada comes out wearing the cut. Yeah. Madness jumps Masquerita before the bell. Ref backs them up. Ty's like, hey, it's easy. Masquerita gets a couple of holds, but before long, Madness's size strength just overwhelms the luchador. Masquerita lands a tilt-a-whirl DDT and trips Madness out of the ring, but a well-placed elbow stops Masquerita's suicide dive. Back in the ring, Madness plucks Masquerita off the top rope with a stalling brainbuster suplex. Match is over in 2 minutes and 12 seconds.
No!
And it goes to Son of Madness. However, Son of Havoc is here and is sick of all this bullshit going around Madness attacking his friends and his jackets. He attacks the former brother-in-arms, and they just go at it. Son of Havoc pops out of the crowd, and they start beating the shit out of each other until Dario comes out of his office to call for security to stop this madness and this havoc. See what I did there? That was funny.
We're in the security era of Lucha Underground.
We are. I like to think that that was part of the deal of Dario screwing Rey Mysterio to protect Johnny Mundo's championship, is that now Johnny Mundo lets Lucha Underground utilize his security.
Yeah. They kind of need it sometimes because, there shouldn't be people allowed to break people's arms, shouldn't be allowed to eat people's heads, etc.
Shouldn't be allowed. Cage murdered an elected official. That's got to be a felony.
Yeah, but that happened off campus,
Yeah, utilizing the props from Lucha Underground, though. Even,
Did he
even if the
receive
gauntlet,
the gauntlet
isn't real. Yes. He
campus?
yes.
Okay.
Yeah. He got it from the best of 5 match. And then he went to Dario's office, and Dario's like, look inside of this box. It's a metal glove. Wear it and use it to murder Lorenzo Lamas. Dario goes on, by the way, that if Madness and Havoc want to fight so bad, he says, let me give you something to fight for. Tonight's main event will be Son of Havoc versus Son of Madness for an ancient Aztec medallion. And since you're a couple of bikers, let's make it a Boyle Heights biker brawl. So it's going to be a hardcore match.
The Triple B, BBB, Better Business Bureau.
Better ball. I didn't realize ball and Saul rhymed. So when I started that, it was doomed it was doomed as before I even realized. Better ball.
Better ball brawl.
Better ball brawl. Yes.
Better ball brawl.
We come back from commercial, and Melissa Santos, ring announcer, wants an HR rep so bad as Marty and Mariposa are already in the ring, deeply crowding her personal space. The next match is Marty the Moth Martinez with Mariposa versus Argenis.
Woo.
And Mariposa slaps Marty around a little bit just to psych him up for the match. They're weird. It's fine. Bell rings. Marty takes the center of the ring, but the faster, the more technically adept Argenis circles the moth and starts to light up his thighs with low kicks. This is something we see a lot in Marty matches, where like he's stronger, he's crazier, but he's not the more technically adept wrestler in most of these matches.
And speaking of crazy, Vampiro and Stryker, they're kind of talking about, when you have that many voices inside of your head, which one do you listen to? And Vampiro says, listen to the one in the middle. So guys,
okay,
when you hear voices, many in your head, you know, if it's 5.1 surround sound, I guess just listen to the subwoofer.
Yeah. Isolate whichever voice in your head is the subwoofer, and just listen to your subwoofer. Your subwoofer is your conscious if you are not friends with a little cricket.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. If you do not know a cricket who wears a nice little hat and spats and gives you kind of annoying life advice, if you don't have that, just find the subwoofer. That's your cricket, baby.
Yeah, and if you don't have a friend named Cricket who lives in Big City and his last name is Green, you know, you just gotta listen to the subwoofer.
Yeah, and if you don't have a friend named Cricket and he used to be a priest, but through a series of miscellaneous adventures, you just destroy this guy's life. You destroy this guy's life. Also, that actor was on the Joe Schmo show. You know, that reality show that was like a fake reality show, all except for one guy who thought it was all real. Yeah, that was also Cricket. He's the bad guy on that show. If you don't have that actor, just listen to your subwoofer.
David Hornsby,
thank you. Shouts out to David Hornsby, but that motherfucker has a subwoofer.
I might cut all of this. Was this funny, Spider-Man Fortnite? Flip that. Also, hey. So. Welcome, day of release Fortnite Spider-Man. He's all caught up.
That's true. Congratulations.
That's
I didn't think
wild.
He might be ahead of us.
That means he has listened to 98 episodes of this.
Yeah. Somebody listened to 98 episodes of this, and thank you.
And hopefully we get another 98 from Nick Lachey.
Oh, please. I thought you were almost going to say Nickelodeon for a second. And I was about to freak out hold on. Did Nickelodeon buy our contracts from Nick Lachey? We need to get out of this contract deal with Nick Lachey. You know how Matanza lives in Dario's attic in a prison? That's how I live with Nick Lachey. And I need to get out. I need to escape the castle of Nick Lachey.
Torchy lives with Nick Lachey, I'm learning.
Okay, great.
Yes. Wait, speaking of callbacks, I was cleaning up my desk and I found a sheet of our callbacks from season 1 of this show. Vampiro shits in Chavo Guerrero's bag.
Yeah, Chavo. That has stuck around. That Chavo Guerrero having a bag shit upon has never left this show.
Brain lumps are like abs.
Okay.
Groupies with eager hands.
Okay, I think that just sounds horny. Is that a callback?
It's gotta be. There's
All right.
cloacanism, of course, El Kabong, which my mother-in-law, we're practically married, who cares? Nicole and I. Nicole's mom came over and was like, every time we go to trivia, we're like, we wish Nicole and James were here, we would have won. Because there was a Hanna-Barbera question. And I was like, oh, what was it? And she's like, oh, I just remember she just was like, I know it had something to do with El Kabong. And I was like, oh, was the question like, what is the alter ego of Quick Draw McGraw? And she's like, how you knew it? We would have gotten it.
Yeah.
So Kabong was one.
Because I love Al Kabong. I don't know. I still don't know why he's like one of my favorite Hanna-Barbera characters.
Yeah.
We talked about this like months and months and years ago. He's just, I don't know. He hits you with the guitar. It's because I like Jeff Jarrett. It all comes back to Jeff Jarrett. TNA. Wee woo.
We also have the Kiss John Moxley match. Geddy Lee's on there. I don't know why. Pinning equals sex. The Pooh World Order. We talked a lot about soaking. The
World Order is
McNasty
very
whip.
good. I like the Geddy Lee one because that was from season 1, you said?
And I wasn't listening to Rush back then.
No, you were not.
Now I'm obsessed with those three fuckers.
You got Rush pilled crazy style, eh?
Then I have two more. Dirty, like Dirt Girl versus Dirt Bag?
Like, what is it? I think I get what we're going for. Like a dirt bag has masculine connotations. What are the feminine connotations of dirt baggery?
No, I don't think it's Dirt Girl. It's like Dirt Bert or something. I don't know. And then the last one is Tightening Cage. Oh, that's the Dominator.
Oh God.
All right, let's get back into this. We need to wrap up in like 3 minutes. I'm kidding.
Yeah, we're in Marty versus Arhennis. Great match. Yeah, it's a really beautiful match. It's good. It's always nice to see Arhennis. Arhennis is sort of like positioned in a spot where like he is weird. He seems to be as good, at least what we see in Lucha Underground, as some of these other like main event luchadors we have, right? Penta, Phoenix, Aerostar, Drago. Like Arhennis could be up there. He just never really is positioned that way.
I wonder if he is doing behind the scenes stuff, kind of like Chavo Guerrero. He is a producer on the show. So like even when he was, quote, in the temple as a wrestler, we didn't see him as often because he had roles elsewhere. I wonder if whoever Arhennis is, was he also working on the show?
That's a good question. We also know he was former trios champion, right? With Sinestro de la Muerte. Maybe he was working on this show. Or maybe he was he also might have just been booked elsewhere. They were shooting in Los Angeles at the time, but it was still pretty hectic. I feel like these guys couldn't get back to AAA as much, get back to Mexico as much. So maybe he was just like, nah, I got a life here. I'd rather continue working in Mexico.
Yeah.
Sorry, America, but y'all a bunch of dorks. But he's here now, and for this we are grateful. And he's kicking Marty's ass for a while. Unfortunately, he gets distracted by Mariposa a couple of times. Anytime the match turns into a fight, it's going to be advantageous for Marty. Mm-hmm. So the more he can sort of dupe Arhennis and try to get Arhennis to the outside, the better it's going to be. For instance, like when Arhennis dumps him outside and then topes the shit out of him on the ring stair side, which is the dangerous side. You'd think like, oh my God, Marty, you just got flipped in the face and knocked the fuck out. That was part of the strategy. Marty the Moth is a genius. He lured Arhennis to the outside by letting him kick his ass. And then when he's distracted by Mariposa, he gets distracted by Mariposa by when she grabs him by the back of the head and throws him into the ring post. And he gets a lot of color. He is very bloody.
Oh yeah.
After that ring post, the meeting of the minds between him and the ring post. And by the way, Arhennis is wearing all white with like purple accents. And Marty's ripping at the mask. He is angry at the culture, and he is taking it out on Arhennis. So now Arhennis is in this ripped mask that is covered in blood. It looks beautiful. Yeah. The battle damage Arhennis chase figure that is Arhennis in this match looks gorgeous.
That's some action figure shit.
Yeah, buddy.
Yeah, guys, we got to just do a hashtag demask Mariposa, because that would be the thing. Marty's constantly trying to demask all these other luchadors. We just need to demask Mariposa, and that, I think, would really bother him. Or he'd be like, whoa, I've never seen your face. Now I really want to kiss it. Then they finally kiss.
That's actually maybe why we need to keep the mask on Mariposa. Remember, canonically, this is a brother and sister team. If you're new to Lucha Underground, this is a brother and sister team that get way too close to kissing way too often.
No.
And maybe the mask is the only thing that keeps them apart. And I think we need that.
And that's the bad thing. They need to get close to kissing. They need to get to kissing way too often. However, there's never a way too often for that, baby.
We need to take. I'm gonna take those animes away from you.
Well, just manga. I'm not watching anime.
I'm gonna call Nicole and say it's time to take the manga away from James. He's getting a little too frisky around Mariposa and Marty the Moth Martinez, who are canonically brother and sister. And Nicole will be like, huh? And then hang up very quickly.
I will be bringing this up on Mostly Speaking Sentai as my that's right, I said James. You know how I do that bullshit in the intro. But
sure.
It will be like, to all my friends who read romance novels, how are you not just horned up 24/7? Like, always wanting to smooch your loved ones? Like, it's just baffling.
I guess. Speaking of baffling, Arhenis is baffled by Marty the Moth Martinez, his unorthodox offense, his dangerous and violent nature, and his desire to smooch his sister. Arhenis does not read romantic manga. You can tell by how baffled he is by this desire to smooch. Tilt-A-World Backbreaker grounds Arhenis again. Torture Rack into a code breaker seals the win for Marty in 5 minutes and 10 seconds.
I got some notes that I loved when Marty threw Arhenis into the crowd, like into the bleachers, but it starts out with him just screaming, "Move!" in such a demanding, scary way. But there are two of these matches, especially the last one, are just for the crowd. Because the crowd, I can't wait till we talk about the last one, but all the people who were there that night should be thanking the heavens, to the temple gods, that they were, because boy, oh boy, did those two fuckers put on a match for the crowd. But loved that. And then they're talking about Arhenis's legacy and the mask and what that means, and like, oh, that sucks that he's taking this beating and having the mask ripped open. That's what we should be concerned about. And I think it was it's crazy how Vampiro is the one to say this, and he goes, well, think of his personal safety, Matt. How about we focus on that? He is a man bleeding right now, and you're concerned about the mask's legacy.
Man, that's a juggalo, though. Like, do I have a vast network of macabre, necromantic minions that I am training to be wrestlers in the dark arts? Sure. But am I also concerned with their safety all of the time? That's family shit. Yeah. It's like, yeah, of course I want you to follow in the family business that is raising demons to do your bidding. But like, are you taking care of yourself? Are you following OSHA regulations? This shit means something to me. After the match, Melissa Santos shakes her head as Marty continues to attack the mask before finally ripping it off. Marty does reveal the face of Arhenis, who quickly covers up and rolls out of the ring.
Thanks to the ref.
Shouts out to referees. Safety first, safety first. Marty demands a microphone, which Melissa is reluctant to give. However, Mariposa snatches it. She's like, well, you're giving it anyway. And she just gives Marty the microphone. And he asks Melissa if she likes what he just did, before throwing the bloody mask of Arhenis at her, saying, that's not the mask I want. That's not the mask I want. I want Phoenix's mask. Melissa Santos' new boyfriend and like one-sided rival to Marty's affections. Marty's got to crush on Melissa Santos as a reminder. That's the mask he demands. That's what he wants. And he just starts sing-songing, challenging Rey Fenix. Yeah, it's creepy. It's what he does. He pulls his hair as he continues the challenge. However, he's so excited to challenge Phoenix, he does not notice Phoenix coming to the ring, climbing the turnbuckle behind him, and drop kicking the shit out of him and Mariposa.
Woo!
Kicks their ass out of the ring before saying he accepts. Phoenix will accept the challenge in a lucha de apuesta. It will be Phoenix's mask versus Marty's hair.
Dang.
Hell yeah, Ultima Lucha. I like Ultima Lucha's shaping up to be Ultima, baby.
It should have been a mask v mask, and that is, she has to Joker style cut off Marty's face.
Oh my God.
Marty be into it. And then that's like a new gimmick of like Marty. It looks like a stretched on Marty face.
Oh, that sounds horrific.
Well, read New 52, that Scott Snyder. He's got a fucked up head.
Scott Snyder, you're so fucked up. I bet you thought Joey Ryan versus Sexy Star was a good idea.
Actually, I think it was the person doing Detective Comics that did the face ripoff. I think he's credited for that, not Scott Snyder. I apologize. I don't know who was writing detectives at the time.
Oh, what a mystery.
Also,
yes,
Melissa had very big, and this is a Megan Beth Koester joke. It's on her album. Very, very big. I don't need to talk to you just because you're a man. And I loved it. That kind of energy. It's on this stand-up album, Megan Beth Koester, where a guy's talking to her at a grocery store, and she just turns and has not said anything to this man because this man was talking to her unprompted. She goes, I don't need to talk to you just because you're a man, then walks away to this man just feeling like small and shattered, and is like, it rules.
Yeah, which is the entire storyline, I think, between Melissa Santos, Phoenix, and Marty can probably be summed up in a Megan Beth Koester bit. And if it was, it would be that bit. It is like, it's uncomfortable how Marty is going about this, but Melissa's handling it phenomenally, and there is Phoenix there to save the day. Though, I bet she doesn't even need Phoenix. I bet she could fucking learn a dropkick and dropkick Marty the Moth Martinez.
Yeah.
Yeah. And still, she can learn a dropkick and still be more technically adept than this madman who's pulling out his hair to get a match with Phoenix at Ultima Lucha.
Or what all women should have, a gun.
And all wrestlers. More wrestling matches should end with gun.
Okay, well, I would no.
Nope, that's what we're booking. Yep, every wrestler gets a gun.
Okay, I have tried to book chainsaw, but I guess we're doing gun now.
Yeah. We'll put a chainsaw on a gun, and then we'll give it to the wrestlers. And then and it'll still be more entertaining than Joey Ryan versus Sexy Star. We have to talk a little bit about it.
Art imitating life, life imitating gimmick. That's what we have here. For both of them, actually.
In that Sexy Star probably hits a little too hard, and Joey Ryan's entire character is that he's a creep.
Yeah, and that she's this bullied individual, and she needs to rise against that. So when someone seemed like they were razzing her too hard, she took it too far, because it's like, this is a professional setting. If someone was making fun of you on a Slack channel, you're not going to go up to them and break their arm in the office.
No, you would give them a gun in my new wrestling promotion.
Hell yeah.
Gun wrestling. Yeah. Nah, this match is from last week, where Veneno was scheduled to take on Sexy Star. However, before the bell could even ring, Joey Ryan, the former undercover police partner to Veneno, a.k.a. Detective Reyes, a.k.a. Cortez Castro, he comes down, he rips off the mask of Veneno to reveal that is Cortez Castro.
No.
A.k.a. Detective Reyes.
Oh.
And totally ruins the match. And Sexy's like, honestly, I do buy that Sexy Star is just like, hey, I don't know what's going on between you two, but I was booked in a match last week. You screwed that up. I'm gonna kick your ass tonight. And yeah, it's a Sexy Star match. Bell rings. She takes it to him immediately. Just like, really kind of beats down Joey Ryan. At some point, I think as Joey Ryan, he has like a headlock on Sexy Star. Taya of the Worldwide Underground, she comes out with a big Go Sexy Star sign, and she's cheering on Sexy Star in a way that I am sure is 100% sincere. And it is nice to see that these two women, these former rivals and heated enemies, are now bearing the hatchet and becoming friends. At least Taya is.
Yeah.
Because again, this is super sincere, and I love that she's doing this.
Me too. And Stryker says a fantastic line. in regards to Sexy Star and Joey Ryan in general, and pretty much like calling out their, like their characters, their gimmick of saying smart women love smart men more than smart men love smart women. I'm like, damn, dude, woke much?
Yeah.
Also, like, no, that's a valid, like, that is real,
That is very real, yeah. That's a valid call out.
But I will, not to diminish, like, smart women can love himbos just like smart men can love bimbos. It's fine.
Yeah.
But you should also love both, like, just love all of them.
Yeah, you should just have some love and kind of know what you want in a relationship. Like, I don't know. I feel like, yeah. There is something though to like, there is a sort of taught misogyny to, oh yeah, you gotta love dumb women. Like if you're a woman smarter than you, then you're gonna like feel bad and be less of a man, and I'll fucking kill you. I'll kill you if you start dating someone smarter than you.
Yeah.
That's not I've never had someone actually say that to me, but that's what it feels like. If you're ever, in my experience with growing up as a het cis man, that's like, it feels like that, like, oh, even if I like it's not even like what you want, it's what society wants for you. And then, I don't know, you wake up 45 years later and you hate your wife and you hate your kids, and you start writing that one song, Once in a Lifetime by Talking Heads. But you can't even sell that song because David Byrne already wrote that one song by the Talking Heads called Once in a Lifetime. Again, that's just my experience as a het cis male.
And the reason why you hate your kids is because you had triplets, all girls, and they are all tied for valedictorian. You hate smart women.
All of the women in my house are smarter than me, and I'm sick of it.
You used to put extra in their drinking water to dumb them down, make them zombies. I might have to bleep all of that because it might get flagged on YouTube.
Possibly. Yeah, so Sexy starts to climb to the top rope. I also love that technically Joey's the one who's distracted by Taya's coming out. Like, Taya comes out, we were being facetious. Taya is doing this very sarcastically. She's trying to get into Sexy Star's head. However, when she comes out holding the sign cheering, Joey is the one who's distracted. So Joey's like, huh, what's going on? And then Sexy takes back over. She climbs to the top rope. She looks over at Joey, but then she sees Taya still dancing with her sign and cheering her on. And she decides to forego this new friendship by attacking Taya with a seated senton from the top rope all the way to the floor, then breaks the sign over Taya's head.
See, Sexy Star is always the aggressor.
And for no reason, she has only to lose. As she gets back in the ring, Joey super kicks the distracted luchador, pins to win the match. Joey Ryan goes over in 4 minutes and 48 seconds.
Boo.
Boo. Joey threatens to stick the lollipop he keeps in his trunks into Sexy's mouth. Gross. But Cortez Castro's here to beat the shit out of him with a kendo stick. Joey escapes, but Castro looks hungry for revenge.
They're doing a great job setting up Ultima Lucha matches by like not really explicitly saying this, because we know Taya and Sexy are going to have a match there. We were positing that Cortez and Joey Ryan,
I'm sure, yeah,
are going to, but then we find out maybe not in this next exchange.
You go to Dario's office. Cortez Castro barges into Dario's office. His cover is blown. Like, yeah, Cortez has been here since season 1, but he was undercover. He fled after his cover was blown the first time as this undercover cop. Came back in with a mask. Cover is blown again. I bring this up because there's not much more police business this cop can do here. So the question is, why is he here? Sorry, maybe just stuff running through my head as Cortez Castro barges into Dario's office door. And Dario, he keeps a smile on his face, but he grabs the bull statue off of his desk. This is the bull that killed his mother years and years ago.
It went Toy Story on her. It just got up and killed her.
Well, no, I believe it was it Dario that used the bull, or was it Matanza?
It was Dario.
It was Dario, yeah. So we know, is this sort of like Dario knows this to be a weapon? We, as the audience, know it to be a weapon, but to most people in the temple, it's just a bull. But the fact that he keeps the smile on his face, but he grabs the bull immediately, it creates this tension in the scene of like, Dario's ready to kill this guy. Dario doesn't know what's going. Dario's keeping a cool front up, but he's ready to kill this guy.
Or he's like, if he comes near me, like if he tries to kill me, I have this bowl now, I'll be able to kill him.
Yeah. It creates this real, like, it's probably the first time we've seen them talk in a long time, especially since discovering that Cortez is a cop.
And I love him back as this character. It just, him with the kendo stick fucking rules.
It's pretty neat. And I do like the reason I asked the question of if there's really no more police business you can do. You know, there's no more undercover. Why are you here? I think it's revenge. But I don't think he knows. Because like he just barges in and he doesn't I forget what Dario asks him. He's just kind of like, fuck, I don't know. And Dario's like, he controls the situation. That's the thing. If you barge into Dario's office and you don't know, Dario is willing to give you a reason. If you don't know why you're here, Dario is a talented enough manipulator that he will tell you why you're there. He goes on, he says, for the first time in like over a year, you finally impressed me, Castro. He is so impressed, he's going to book Joey and Castro next week in a 5-0 street fight. Cortez was reluctant. He says, I don't work for you anymore, Dario. But he plays into that sort of unnamed motivation. He says, this is a chance to prove to the entire precinct that you are better than Joey Ryan. Joey Ryan, again, the cop who sold out Cortez Castro. He's the one that blew his cover and basically quit the force to start working for Dario. And you know what? Dario's going to make it even more interesting. He'll put an ancient Aztec medallion on the line.
Oh, yeah.
And Detective Reyes, formerly known as Cortez Castro, formerly known as Veneno, accepts. But that will be next week. So maybe it won't go to Ultima Lucha. Maybe it will. We'll see where this goes. But then finally getting there one-on-one.
Also, Cortez Castro going, damn right, I'm a cop. And I was like, oh.
Gross, yeah.
Yeah.
Different time, but still. The main event tonight that was set up in the first match tonight. That's right, Son of Madness works twice in the Boyle Heights Biker Brawl for an ancient Aztec medallion. This is a cool match. Referee Lefty Jorston Borden, shouts out to Justin, tries to separate the fighters before the bell rings, all in vain, as Havoc jumps over him to get to Madness.
That was my first note. We got a leapfrog at JB.
Yeah, it's a fight. It is a full out fight. Madness catches Havoc with his thighs, head scissors him out of the ring before a tope double stomp all the way to the outside just to crush Havoc's spleen. Son of Madness is the bigger wrestler, and I did not expect him to tope double stomp. That looked so bad in a good way. It looked very painful. And that's when Madness starts taking a trash can out. Swings but misses. Havoc takes the trash can and bounces it off Madness's skull.
Boing.
And they go to the bleachers. They're brawling all around. It is a fucking brawl with this trash can and the bleachers.
And around this time, everyone is everyone. Son of Havoc, son of Havoc. Is he the babyface of Lucha Underground?
Oh, is he the number one?
I think when it comes to the crowd in the arena, everyone is maybe it's because he's always being matched up with people that is like, oh, well, clearly we don't like that person. So he's always on the right side, it seems. Whereas, sometimes Prince Puma versus Pentagon Dark, everyone loves Pentagon Dark, so they're going to also chant for him. But it just feels like Son of Havoc is, even though he's not pushed to this status of Lucha Underground champion, I think everyone in the temple will say oh yeah, my favorite wrestler is Pentagon, is Drago, etc. But then if someone brings up Son of Havoc, they're like, oh wait, fuck you. Oh man.
He might be. I mean, yeah. We talked last week about how Pentas at this point sort of feels like he's always just almost there, but they never quite push him over the edge. I feel like Havoc has been that way since the Odd Thruple.
Oh, yeah.
Really, where he's been beloved. And I mean, similar to Penta, that's sort of how he became a good guy in storyline. Was he just kept getting cheered?
Yeah, the same with Son of Havoc. Matt Cross or M-Dog 20 as an indie dude is so fucking popular that they tried making Son of Havoc a heel, a shit dude, but there was just no way the crowd's gonna have that. He is our guy. He is the indie scene. We need him elevated, and we need him to be a good guy. Yeah.
That's a very, I don't know when was the last time we had Pentagon versus Son of Havoc, and I hope we get it sometime before the end of this season or before the end of the next season, because they do parallel each other in very interesting ways. Because I think that would be my answer, is I think the only person who gets more cheered than Son of Havoc is probably Pentagon. But like it's close. It is two very similar stories of dudes that got over. That's like bottom line. Good guy, bad guy, they got their shit over. People really grew an attachment to them, and it's palpable. It is palpable as they go around the ring area, and they're just bouncing each other's heads off of the barricades.
They have, I don't want to look into this more, but the second to last episode of this season will be Pentagon Dark versus Son of Havoc.
Ooh, we'll have an answer. Well, at least for that night. Whoever gets the louder reactions, that's such an ephemeral sort of, it's hard to really judge who gets the louder reactions. But we'll see that night.
Do you want me to explain what might be happening?
No, I don't think so.
Just it's something cool, like it's tournament style, I think, possibly for medallion bullshit.
Ooh. I mean, I do love bullshit. Oh, no, I'm sorry. I do love keeping macaroni inside of a bull's ass. Those are two different things.
Technically a cow's ass.
But if we can get a bull, if we can book a bull. Yeah, they're fighting in the bleachers. I love it. At one point, I like how the fight inside over the barricades in the crowd is like it's wild. I'm trying to find it in my actual notes. I'm trying to remember exactly how it happens. I think they each try to throw each other into the barricade, but they keep escaping until finally Havoc jumps on top of the barricade to fly off, and Madness just pushes him into the crowd.
And the crowd catches him.
Yeah, which is a really nice way of saying that dude just landed on that audience member who did not fill out a safety waiver.
He had a green wristband on, aka, he's down for it.
I think that's a drink ticket.
Oh, this isn't Dancing Bear shit.
This is not Dancing Bear. This is wait, what is Dancing Bear?
It's, the CFNM series on Pornhub, clothed female, nude male. It's the, dude with the big bear head, and he's, got his wang out.
You said 3 times, and I'm going to tell you right now, nah. I do not know.
You've never seen this, and it's a party with a bunch of women, and all of a sudden they're giving this dude blowjobs. But
Stop
if you're
saying I don't know.
Well, probably Fortnite Spider-Man knows. Okay, I'm talking to him right now. I'm talking to Steve Barnes right now.
This is why you can't tell us. Please listen to our show. But you can't tell us that you do listen to this show. We will reference you consistently.
No, please. I want to reference you guys constantly.
And it will be about shit like this.
It's just, but you can tell you just think these women are just brought to the compulsion to blow this dude with a bear on his head. But no, eventually you start seeing they all have specific wristbands on when they are blowing. But there are a few videos where it's oh wait, that woman did not. That woman did have the compulsion to blow a dude.
Wow. So whoever Havoc just fell on just came off the set of one of these Bearhead CFNM videos.
Dancing Bear
videos. Havoc falls on top of her. Madness joins them in the crowd. They fight up there until Havoc throws Madness off of the raised barricade, off of that fan section, back to the floor, flies at him. They are brawling out here. It is brawlic.
When they were in the bleachers, everyone was chanting and pointing at Madness like, you suck. And it just, that ruled. And then I love when Havoc does it, when he is on the barricade on the little railing and he like holds a crowd member's head. And clearly he's getting approval from them. I would love to meet this man. Yeah.
There is a green wristband anytime he uses your head to balance before flying off of the barricade.
Yeah, man. Havoc rules.
Havoc's the best. He's getting punched around a little bit. Madness, after a big lariat, he goes under the ring, pulls out a beer bottle, empty, very disappointed in that, a toolbox, and then the garbage can, as well as the lid. He brings all that into the ring. First thing to go is the trash can. Havoc and Madness kind of fight for it for a while. Eventually, Madness gets a Death Valley driver through the trash can, obliterates it. You know how a trash can is normally a cylinder? After the big Death Valley driver, it's flat. He flattens it using the body of his opponent.
That trash can's like Sean's chest in middle school, babe.
How dare you?
You flat-chested bitch.
You no titty having son of a bitch. How dare you? We were so close to the end of the episode, and you still found the time to attack me in my puberty. My most vulnerable form, pubescent Sean. How you leave him alone? He's doing his best. Thank you. I realize I said thank you. You can't see it. James gave me a little devil horns, which makes me feel better about my lack of titties. Yep, the trash can is gone. Havoc goes back to the toolbox. He pulls out a hammer, like old school claw hammer. He's gonna decapitate Havoc. He's gonna crush his skull in with this hammer. Thankfully, he misses. They kind of fight around for a little bit more. Eventually, Havoc goes onto the top rope. But before he goes onto the top rope, he disarms the hammer from Madness. So it's in the middle of the ring. Son of Madness has to go and get the hammer. As he goes to get the hammer, Son of Havoc grabs the beer bottle. But he does this behind Madness's back. Havoc climbs the top rope. Madness sees him on the top rope, hammer in hand. Like, oh, I'm going to hammer him now. I'm going to kill him with this hammer right the fuck now. He runs up to the top rope. He does not see the bottle that Son of Havoc produces across the forehead of Son of Madness. Crash, bang. Son of Madness falls to the mat, shooting star press to finish the match, win the medallion, the match, and his cut back from his opponent. Son of Madness goes over in 13 minutes and 5 seconds.
Ooh, loved it, guys.
It's a very exciting match. This was a beautiful finish. I loved this finish so much. Of just like having that hidden beer bottle just so like as soon as you see him run up. Because there's something terrible. I don't get a lot of men running at me with a hammer at full speed. It's terrifying. Watching it happen here is terrifying.
What you don't see is underneath the ring, Mac is there just like clearly jacked up because he was drinking that beer.
Yeah, that beer was not empty before, don't worry, the hidden Mac agenda. Yeah.
And then there are 3 other beer cans in the hands of the Rabbit tribe as they're doing commentary underneath the mat into the beer bottles.
Oh, because there's no post-match, there's nothing post-credits in this. Can we actually, can we back up to that first match?
Yeah.
As we forgot to mention, they're pulling apart Son of Havoc. So the match, Masquerita versus Son of Madness wins. He's kind of jumping him. Son of Havoc comes in, they fight, they're splitting him up. As security separates Son of Havoc and Son of Madness after that first match, unseen, and Dario's on the mic by now, so he's already talking. Nobody really pays attention to Paul London of the Rabbit Tribe, who just comes out, scoops Masquerita in his arms, and rescues him to safety. Nobody says anything. I think maybe Vampiro just goes, "Hey, what the fuck?" But that's like it. And I like it. I like how subtle it is. But it's something's being told here. Something is happening.
Yeah.
And it's very cool. And allow me to rescue you, faithful listeners, from not knowing where we are at all times by taking this over to the plug section, motherfuckers. Find me over at twitch.tv/GooseVonKaiser, where we're playing Disco Elysium, where we're talking about wrestling. We're having ourselves a good old time. Why don't you get in there, babies?
Hey guys, head over to patreon.com/MLMpod, where for $5 a month you get exclusive content every single Friday. Probably this week's gonna be Citizens of Townsville Z, because we now have banked episodes, so I have to guess what's going on, opposed to like, hey, last week you could listen to Lance and I do a watch along of TMNT2 Secret of the Ooze.
Oh yeah, you're gonna listen to this episode and be like, yeah, WWE bought AAA like 2 weeks ago. We'll be like, it just happened yesterday for us. And he'll be like, actually, the deal went sour. Now AAA owns WWE, and we'll be like, whoa.
And that means they own MMA. Or UFC.
Yeah. Actually, you know what? By the time this episode actually comes out, Disney's going to own all of it anyway.
Whoa, that's again, an antitrust lawsuit's going to start rearing its head.
Yeah, give it 5 years.
And hey, at $10 patrons, you could bump up from the $5 and get monthly bonus exclusive content in the form of straight to Patreon, which will be Sean, Torchyberry, and myself discussing a Sailor Suit and Machine Gun. Such a fantastic movie. I'm pumped for us to record that.
Hell yeah.
Also, you get shout-outs on every single free feed podcast. So let's begin with those, starting with Steve F., Eric Berry of Ranger Command Power Hour, Alex Z. The Waz, Orion, my Bickle brother in common law, Joshua, Jake, Steve Barnes, a sweet child of time, and Intro Void, my mother, Lil Corey's BFF, and now former roommate Shane, from twitch.tv/Corwinning. It's Corwin, also of This Movie's Gay, coming back, baby. I think next Monday will be the first episode discussing Desert Hearts, I think is the name of the movie.
Ooh.
From twitch.tv/R2Shelby2, it's R2 Shelby 2, as well as Formulaic, a podcast and script writing and the ROM complex. And finally, from Speed Radio, a podcast in all things Sonic the Hedgehog, it's Tay, a.k.a. Zinny D, and I've been James.
And I have been Sean. This has been Sweaty Time Pro Wrestling. Purple Prancer forever. Be like Bob.
Toodaloos. Bye. Oh, hey.